anyone has any question. Yes, sir.
No, what is applicable to email will also be applicable to SMS, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
The caution. And about this, you said about this regulating this. How does one be sure that the organization we are dealing with is a regulated?
You have to look for the document, and
Right.
if you go to the regulator, if they say, suppose it's a Sahara bond, okay, that Sahara, the famous ones where Subrata Rai is now in jail, was made to look as though it was a SEBI cleared document. But it will not say that SEBI has regulated it, okay? If it says, if there's that level of cheating where they say that it's regulated by SEBI, then please go to the SEBI website and check it out. It'll be available. It means a lot of effort on your part, but it's worth it, because one of the things that we say at Moneylife Foundation, if you've attended our programs regularly, is that 90% of what is sold to you is useless. You don't need it. You need only 10%. So if you choose that 10%, then it's not too much trouble to do all the checking. So when you choose carefully, go to the SEBI website if they say it's SEBI regulated, and the clearance will be there. You can see it.
So one last question. Now, chit funds have a very bad name and one is very cautious. But what about Shriram? Because my wife has for quite some time invested. I don't know whether I should be saying
Yeah. No,
Shriram Transport. So what?
It's a good question. See, Shriram is a well-known company.
Exactly.
But more than that, the problem is not with chit funds. Okay. The reason why chit funds have a bad name is that companies masquerade as chit funds.
Right.
So genuine chit funds are not a problem. There is an act. There's a Chit Fund Act, and they're regulated by it.
Right.
And Shriram's chit funds most of them are under it.
What are?
Are regulated by that act.
So it's safe.
Yeah. It is safe.
Okay, thank you.
So far, it is safe. Okay?
Right.
If there is any problem, read Moneylife regularly. I'm sure we'll be the first to write about it. So, at this point of time, there's nothing that we found wrong. But people like Sharda have pretended to be chit funds. And the good news is that SEBI, which was not looking at these, now has to look at them under collective investment schemes. But only when they collect 100 crores that SEBI gets involved. So there are dozens of them pretending to be chit funds, and they're not.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
What about online insurance policies that has been issued? Sometimes it doesn't comply with the whatever.
If you bought an online insurance policy from a recognized insurance company, then it should comply. And if not, then you must complain. But if you have that experience, I would suggest write to the Moneylife helpline, because we don't know of cases where a regulated insurance company is not complying with it. So if you have a case, it will be the first that we know of. Yeah?
Yeah, I have a question on multi-level marketing. Amway and Herbalife are two of the most famous multi-level companies. American going strong, and how do you say they are a fraud?
Both are extremely controversial. The Amway chief was arrested recently. The law in India is unclear about them. They spend a lot of time even coming and meeting us. Amway's global PR head had come from America to meet us. He's an ex-army veteran, and he himself confesses to us that the law is unclear. He also agrees that the pitch that they make about, Amway being an alternative investment, income opportunity is not correct, because the most that even a distributor earns is pocket money or extra income. It can't be an alternative to your regular source of income. And these are things that we've got from Amway. Herbalife is a listed company abroad. Again, hugely controversial. If you Google Herbalife, you will find plenty over there. But, I do a full session on pyramids and multi-level marketing companies. If you don't mind, I will not get into details, but believe me, they're controversial. And not only that, Amway has come here and said, we are agreeable to a model where we will not ask, get 6 more and those 6 have to get 3 more kind of thing. That pyramid multi-level is a disaster. And there's plenty of global statistics to back that up.
Thank you.
Sorry, if you're taking an extra seminar, I won't go in detail, but then there have been this too. After taking BRS from Air India some years back, I lost out a lot on this, online business, like wealth line promoters. And the case is going on in the, crime branch, MM court. But the thing is that even with Mr. Michael Ferreira, lot
QNet,
of people
QNet.
say QNet, but they got lakhs and lakhs of rupees, and
They earned.
to Hong Kong to get the biodisk, and they have been cutting your income tax and everything. How the government agencies do not supervise these kind of schemes?
This is India for you. Okay, in fact, there is a judgment of the court which says just because something that's patently illegal does not become legal because the government agencies have not acted on it. I mean, it's an amazing thing. The reason why this happens is there's not enough activism in India. But it's the same in the US. This Herbalife thing has been taken up by one large hedge fund manager now, which is why it's become so controversial. But there also, regulators were watching it all the way until it got listed without doing anything.
Because this well-planned promoters, every day they would show the virtual money, but actually...
For every one that you name to me, I can show you 10, including Speak Asia. When Speak Asia happened and QNet, somebody has even filed, their CEO called Thimri, who's given an affidavit in the Bombay High Court saying he has nothing to do with QNet, has filed a defamation case against the whistleblower in Bangalore, just to harass. Okay, so they have plenty of money and they can harass you. You know the city limousine case, even there till today nobody has got a penny back. So one of the things that I keep saying is you will only end up in court fighting and spending more money, but India is notorious for never giving an investor money back. They'll arrest the guy, they'll parade him, there'll be a media show, and there'll be 20 years of litigation. Harshad Mehta case, most people haven't got their money back from 92. City limousine, nobody's got their money back. NSCL, some small amounts, a few thousand rupees has come back. Most of the money is still locked up. So the reason why I say you have to be extra careful in India is our judicial system is so slow and so expensive that nothing comes back. Yes, sir.
Now, when you say 3% more, what does that mean?
It means if the bank FD rate is 9%, when somebody starts offering you 11, 12, 13, then you have to worry.
So up to 11 is okay.
I would say write to us, we will look at the company, but I can't tell you. Sorry? Look at its credit rating. If its credit rating is good, AA, the man in front of you might have something to say about Mahindra, but I would say look at its credit rating.
Manufacturing companies, they are not giving ratings there. Only financial.
Everybody has to get CRISIL rating for FDs. You have to get your fixed, it's nothing to do with the manufacturing or not. The fixed deposit has to get a rating.
But the rating is at that time, the instrument is issued. The rating is for that period.
For the period of the... Not really. It is for the period. So if somebody floats a deposit which is a 3-month deposit, then the rating is on the guarantee of that money for 3 months. So if you take a 1-year deposit, the rating is for 1 month. But we say keep following it, because if something goes wrong, the rating agency is tracking it. It would have downgraded. You may have missed it. Okay, so what we are saying is if you take a private bank FD, you have no option but to keep tracking it. Okay, you must keep tracking and you must see whether there are press releases, alerts. In fact, you can go to CRISIL's website or whoever. I mean, you check who has rated him and you can go and register yourself there. You can get an email alert when there is a changing rating.
What about PMS?
What about PMS? We've done a cover story on PMS. You must read it because there are pros and cons. At this point of time, there are a lot of, you're talking about portfolio management schemes. No, I am not. This PMS is something on which we have done a lot of activism in Moneylife. We have written to SEBI asking for what is the performance. SEBI refused to give it. We filed an RTI. We then took it up all the way through appeals to the Chief Information Commissioner. We then got an order saying SEBI has to put it up on its website. SEBI puts it up in a manner that is not comparable by the ordinary person. And we came up with a strange discovery that only 2 PMS schemes had given positive returns in 3 years, because we say if it's not, you'll hear more about it in Debashis' session, but you have to look at a track record of at least 3 years, because in any 3 years somebody has performed well, in 2 years somebody has performed well, in 1 year we looked at 3 consistent years of good performance and we found only 2 schemes, and Motilal Oswal was not among them.
Not among them.
my opinion, SEBI and corporate ministry, they are pro-corporates.
Absolutely.
They are not pro.
I know, and the problem is there's not enough activism. There's only so much we can do. We keep fighting. We need more support if we have to do more, but the regulators are all unaccountable because none of them can prove an increase in the number of people coming to the market or buying insurance. Instead, there is a big decline. Any other questions?
And regarding this real estate market, there is no regulator that is okay. But even that law, which is that Maharashtra Flat Owners Act, Ownership Tax Act, even leaders are not implementing that, complying with that. That is for Gujarat also.
True. Let's hope in the new government we'll see some change. Or let's at least fight at that time. Because 10 years of Congress, we had even given up fighting. Nothing was changing. Any questions?
Actually, can I go and get it done?
Yes. In
can.
fact, you should.
Where?
The same registrar where you'd register marriages, there is a separate form. The form for people who are getting married for the first time is different. For you, it will be
But from
different.
where do you get?
The Bandra, I mean, if you're
Ms.
here, it
Dalal,
will be
I'll
the
be able
Bandra.
to, I'll be able to help the gentleman.
Okay,
It's
fine.
normally done, if you are in South Bombay, it's done next to the
Custom
town hall.
house.
No, I-
Custom
I'm in
house.
ladder.
Then there is one at Bandra.
Bandra.
And I would, since your article yesterday, which you put up on the net yesterday, and Mr. Shanbag has written, I sincerely believe that no matter what, please get your marriage registered. No matter what. It's a very simple process.
Process is very simple. There's a form that you need to fill in. You need 2 witnesses, you need 2 photographs, you need to put the name of your children, 3 photographs. And Mr. Shanbag is one of our experts in the Legal Resource Centre. If there are enough of you who want this done, he has made it one of his missions to help and guide people do it. You can come here and write to us, write to Sarah or the foundation, and we could help you with the process. In fact, even we can do a round table. Actually, Mr. Shanbag can help you to do the process. Quite simple.
Special registration is different than the normal marriage registration? Because I have done my marriage registered. Special registration.
No, it's probably the same, but there is a Maharashtra registration also which is different, and the Special Marriage Act 1954 is different. So just check it out with him.
Okay, ma'am.
What is yours?
Yeah, my question is
Yes, sir.
about the questions. One is, what is the role of the executor, number one? And the second is, you mentioned about, in relation to the will, there's a Hindu act and a Muslim act. What is applicable for Christians? And the third question is, I got married in the church. Is that church certificate considered a registered marriage?
I think the church gives you a registration document, right? When you get married in a
Give
church.
us a marriage certificate.
Yeah, so
But is that considered a
I think
registered-
that is good enough
It's
because
considered-
that is useful for succession.
So that's considered a registered marriage?
Yeah, but if you do a special marriage act, if you do it today, you will get your children also, but the church registration certificate is good enough.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.